Welcome to the Cybos Daily Update. This is Charlie Corbett, Economics Editor at The Banker. I'm here with Guy Warren. He's Executive Vice President and General Manager for Banking at Misys. Guy, what for you has been the big issue for Cybos, either today or for the conference in general?
I think the trend we're seeing at the moment in the marketplace, and it's being reinforced here at Cybos, is transaction banking is moving to a more prevalent, more prominent place in our customer base. I think initially it started off as a back office operations type function, bring together all the people who are processing transactions of various types, but particularly with the lack of liquidity and with the depressed interest rates around the world, transaction banking generates fees for banks. So now it's around what's the quality of the service and product I offer to my customers. Can I charge for it? Is it competitive with other things I'm seeing in the market? And you still need the operational efficiency and the good cost-income ratios. But I think transaction banking see themselves as the fee generator. We've probably switched past the point where up to 50% of a bank's income comes from fees versus spread. So I think greater demand, more fussy, more worried about customer interface, functionality, fit of products together, the trade product and the cash product. So yeah, a lot of very dynamic discussions, and I think banks who, even in tough times, were prepared to spend money to earn fees and win money.
With talk of more talk now of an economic recovery, I think Ben Bernanke talked about it the other day. Do you think this is now sustainable? Do you think there will be a continued focus on transaction banking, or will they go back to the old ways and the old focuses?
I think we're seeing a very spread situation around the world. I travel a lot around the world. I've been in South Africa recently, in the Middle East and Eastern Europe. And while the West is seeing the early signs of recovery, I think other regions are still feeling a recession biting, unemployment climbing, or more bad debt coming through on loans, personal and retail and corporate loans. So I think a lot of geographies would not mimic what we're hearing in the West, US and UK. But what we are feeling, of course, is the wholesale cash markets are much smaller. Governments have actually stumped up a lot of the cash that banks are currently using, and that's not sustainable. That'll have to unwind. I think the low interest rates that are being held at the moment because there is a recession and for other reasons makes it hard for banks to make money on spread. So I think they have to double down on customer service of one form or another, corporate or retail, and try and win market share and potentially bring new services to market they can charge for. We're seeing a lot of demand, for instance, for our OPEX product, a treasury product, because volatility in currencies means both corporates and individual customers want to hedge against that and protect themselves against currency fluctuations. So banks that typically wouldn't have bought a complex treasury system with derivatives and futures and swaps are now wanting it because it just helps protect them and their customer base. So no, even if it were a continued recession and people had to take cost out, you wouldn't take it out of the revenue generating part. You'd be doubling down your cost savings in areas that were not generating as much income.
Great, thanks. And as to Cybos itself, the conference itself, obviously last year was more exciting with the collapse of Lehman's, but has it changed? Do you feel it's smaller, more subdued? Is this a credit crunch Cybos, or what do you think of the changes?
Interesting. On the first day I got here, I did walk both floors here, and there's undoubtedly less people. I don't think it's 4,000 or 5,000 people are talking about versus 8 when it's in Europe or the US, and that clearly you can feel that presence, the lack of people in the aisles. But I'd say I had more quality discussions in the last 3 days, or on the middle day here, than I had for a long time. So I'm actually very pleased with Cybos this year. Our solution set fits very well to what's hot in the market in the transaction banking space. We've had existing customers, new customers coming and talking to us about real projects that are moving forward. So a very, very positive show, which is counterintuitive to a small attendance, but that's what it's been like.
That's great. Guy Warren, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.